plane you will hijack is a Vindicator Delta Wing subsonic bomber.
I can fly anything.
You take off from UK June 2nd. Disable the crew, as discussed. At destination, you receive $1 million, new passport, and onward passage to Rio de Janeiro. Understood?
It will not be easy. The landing you want is going to need steady nerves.
For $1 million, you will summon them. You'll be taken on board the yacht Disco Volante.
So, what am I delivering, apart from the plane itself?
No further questions. You work now for Spectre. For me. Blofeld.
Thunderball by Ian Fleming. Dramatised by Archie Scotney, starring Toby Stevens as James Bond, Alfred Molina as Blofeld, Tom Conti as Emilio Largo. With John Standing, John Sessions, Lisa Dillon, Ian Ogilvy, Julian Sands and Janet Montgomery. Martin Jarvis is the voice of Ian Fleming.
May the 18th, 1959. It was one of those days when it seemed to James Bond that life was nothing but a heap of 6 to 4 against.
So, maybe a 60% chance of survival from all this?
Open wide, 007.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Open and say R.
R, sir? I don't follow.
Say R.
R.
Ah, yes, your tongue is furred. I thought so. Shoulders back.
Are you a qualified doctor, sir?
I'm qualified to save you from yourself.
Oh.
The MO was right. Spasm in the trapezius muscles, fibrositis, nodules. Well, it's not very satisfactory, is it, James?
I'm perfectly fit, sir.
MO says you must take it easy for 2 or 3 weeks on a more abstemious regime. He thinks you would then make a complete return to physical fitness.
Most weekend golfers have fibrositis. Aspirin and embrocation get rid of it. Nothing to it, really, sir.
How much stone-ground whole wheat do you eat?
I'm sorry?
Vegetables, nuts, fresh fruit.
Practically none at all, sir. What is this?
It's no laughing matter, 007. There is no way to health except the natural way. All your troubles are actually...
Troubles?
Yes. This, what's it called, toxemia, revealed by your medical, is the result of a basically unnatural way of life. Nature will ride to the rescue, courtesy of Dr. Joshua Wayne, in a white hat. Well, actually, a white coat, anyway. Cure is not beyond our reach, 007.
Eh?
Well, that's all, James. Miss Moneypenny has made the reservation. You won't know yourself when you come out. New man.
Out of where, sir?
Shrublands. Dr. Wayne is a remarkable chap. Very up-to-date equipment. Even got his own herb garden. Nice stretch of country. In Sussex.
But, I mean, is this really necessary?
Essential. If you want to stay in the 00 section, that is. Dismissed, 007.
Now, what the hell, Moneypenny? Is he off his rocker? What's all this bloody Shrublands nonsense?
The manager's been terribly helpful. Sounds rather dishy on the phone. He can give you the Myrtle room in the annex.
I don't want any room in any annex.
He says it's, groovy. Looks right over the herb garden. They've got their own herb garden, you know.
What's going on? Em's talking like a nut cutlet.
I think it's only a passing phase. You know he gets these bees in his bonnet.
What's eating him?
Well, of course, you've been away. Last month he got lumbago and he heard about Shrublands from a friend of his. This man swore by it. Told him we were all like motor cars and what we needed from time to time was to go to a garage and get it... what's the word?
Decarbonised?
Yes, that's it. Is there no end to your talent, James? Anyway, all very luxurious, only 20 guineas a week, and it makes him feel wonderful. Em went for 10 days and came back absolutely sold on the place.
Why is he picking on me to go to this nut house?
Well, when he saw your medical, he told me to book you in. James, do you really drink and smoke as much as that? It can't be good for you, you know?
I'd rather die of drink than of thirst. As for the cigarettes, it's really only that I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's not what I've heard.
Trust you're finding Myrtle to your liking, Mr. Bond.
I beg your pardon?
The Myrtle Room. Splendid view of the...
Oh, yes, the herb garden.
That sundial seems to beam up at you, does it not?
Yeah.
I imagine you found our naturopathic brochure exciting?
Well, I'm looking forward to the potassium broth, Dr. Wayne.
Call me Josh, by the way. And our unmalted slippery elm is to die for.
I hope not.
What? Oh, great. Sense of humour. Could you remove all your clothes, please, except your underpants?
Oh, God, I went through all that yesterday.
And you read about the unreal glories of massage.
Unreal?
Well, so outstanding it's difficult to believe.
I imagine so.
Effleurage, stroking and friction, petrissage, deportment.
And vibration, I believe.
Quite a few scars. You seem to have been in the wars, Mr. Bond.
Near miss, yes, during the war.
Really? War between peoples is so old hat. Now just breathe in deeply, please. Well, Mr. Bond, blood pressure's a bit high, osteopathic lesions in the upper vertebrae, and some sacroiliac strain, the right ilium slightly displaced backwards. Bad fall sometime, maybe?
Perhaps.
So, here we go. Strict dieting for 1 week to eliminate the toxin, massage, irrigation, hot and cold sitz baths, osteopathic treatment, and a short course of traction. Complete rest, of course. Just take it easy, Mr. B. You're a civil servant, I understand.
Yep.
Do you good to get away from all that pen-pushing for a while. Treatment rooms in half an hour. No harm in starting right away.
What's traction, by the way?
A medical device for stretching the spine. Very beneficial. Some of my patients call it the rack. You know what comedians folk can be.
Oh, yes. Sense of humour, Josh.
Clothes off, please, Mr. Bond.
Oh, not again.
Bond undressed, and with a towel round his waist followed the masseur down a long room divided into 2 compartments.
And if you would care to lie down.
He lay face downwards and surrendered himself to the toughest massage he'd ever experienced. Vaguely, he heard another patient arriving.
Good morning, Beresford.
I'm afraid you'll have to take the wristwatch off, Count Lippy, sir.
Nonsense, my dear fellow. I'm always allowed to keep it on.
No, sir. You must have had someone else doing the treatment.
I'll keep it on, if you don't mind.
Sorry, sir. It interferes with the blood flow when I come to treat the arm and hand. If you don't mind, Count.
Take it off then, damn you! Get on with the bloody massage.
Thank you, sir.
Why did he want to keep it on? Rather childish. Who is this Lippy guy, anyway?
Turn over, please, Mr. Bond.
Oh, right.
Bond glanced to his right. Count Lippy's face was turned away from him. His left arm hung down towards the floor. In the middle of the white circle where the watch had been, there was a sign tattooed in red on the skin.
A small zigzag crossed by 2 vertical strokes. So, didn't he want it to be seen?
It's a tong sign, 007. Secret society. The Red Lightning Tong. Unusual to find anyone but a full-blooded Chinaman being a member.
Is it a religious organisation?
No, entirely criminal. They're represented in Hong Kong, but their headquarters are across the bay in Macau. Seems Russia has some sort of deal with them. They've cropped up a few times recently in drugs, gold smuggling to India, and top bracket white slavery. They're big people.
So what's he doing at Shrublands?
We'd be interested if you've got any kind of a line.
I'll let you know if anything develops.
Good work, 007. But don't forget I told you to take it easy.
I'm doing my best, but it's actually quite hard.
Have you tried the nut mince yet? It's delicious.
As Bond left the phone booth, a movement caught his eye. Count Lippy, his back to Bond, was just picking up the receiver in the next booth.
Oh, Lord. How long has he been in there? Did he hear me?
Hello, Mr. B. Enjoy your soup and carrot cube this morning?
I'm not sure. There was so little of it.
You'll be getting less at our starvation regime.
I'm looking forward to my nettle tea at 4 o'clock.
3 days now, James. Well done. How was your sitz bath?
Shocking.
Very good for you. Especially for hemorrhoids and anal fissures. Tomorrow we add baking soda.
Exciting.
And you are feeling...
Averagely terrible. Nagging headache, whites of eyes glowing yellow, tongue nicely furry.
Excellent. Just as it should be. The poison's leaving your body. Now more good news, Jim.
Yes?
In the morning, osteopathic manipulation and traction.
Come in.
Good Lord. Hello. I've seen you around. Is this what you do?
Nearly 20% of osteopaths are women. Take off your clothes, please.
Certainly. Patricia, isn't it? Underpants as well?
Leave them on.
Sure, if you insist.
Stand in front of me.
Of course.
Right. Let's have a look at you. All right. Lie on the couch, face downwards. Relax. That's it. You can stand up now.
You're a powerful girl, Patricia.
I'm not finished yet. Clasp your hands behind my neck.
Wow. Such eyes.
Be quiet. Stay steady.
Tricky. What are you doing?
Freeing your vertebrae. Okay. You can release your hands now.
Must I? I'd really rather. I've never missed a slap in the face by so little.
The last time that happened, the man had to leave by the next train.
If there were any hope of being kicked out of this damn place, I'd try it again.
Don't be silly. Now, pick up your things. You've got half an hour's traction. That ought to keep you quiet.
Oh, all right. But only on condition you let me take you out on your next day off.
We'll see about that.
Oh, pardon me. Well, here I am, darling. Lamb to the slaughter. I hope you're not feeling too strong today.
Just get ready, please, Count Lippy. I shan't be a moment putting Mr. Bond on the traction table. Follow me, Mr. Bond.
Excuse me, Count.
Lamb to the rack.
Face downwards, please.
Not until you tell me what this thing does. What's all this metal?
An electric traction table. A machine for stretching your spine. You won't find it bad at all. It's very soothing, actually. Quite a lot of patients fall asleep.
Well, this one won't.
Come on, I have to strap you in.
Hold on. What strength are you going to give me? Why are those top figures in red? Are you sure I'm not going to be pulled apart?
Don't be silly. Of course, if there was too much tension, it might be dangerous. I'm starting you at only £90.
Oh, really?
You can see the dial. In a quarter of an hour, I shall come and see how you're getting on. Probably put you up to 120. On you get. Face down. I've got another patient waiting.
If you kill me, I'll sue. What are you doing?
Strapping you in. Chest and hips. Right, I'm going to start the motor now. You'll feel the straps tighten, then relax. It's simply the gears engaging and disengaging to produce the rhythmic traction. Stand by. Are you all right?
What do you think?
Have fun. I'll be back in 15.
Oh, well. Not too bad after all.
How are you doing?
Fine. It's actually okay.
Told you so. I'm putting you up to 120 now.
The girl's hand came into his line of vision as she operated the lever.
Only another quarter of an hour.
Good.
Back soon.
Good. What? What's that?
A man's hand was reaching out for the lever.
What's he doing? Wait. No. No! Stop! Stop!
Through a mist of sweat, Bond watched the hand softly release the lever. Just below his eyes, he could see the back of the wrist.
Red zigzag tattoo.
I heard the noise of the machine, Josh. I came in to check. The indicator was up to 200. I tore down the lever and ran to the surgery for the choramine.
You injected 1 cc?
Yes, the pulse was terribly weak. Then I telephoned you.
God, what a bummer. I suppose he must have jerked the lever somehow.
He might easily have killed himself.
Okay, he must have some safety arrangement installed.
This is all M's fault. He's mad, sending me to these grated carrot merchants. Have it out with him when I get back.
Pulse is weak, but no structural damage, just surface abrasion of the nerve ends and shock. You'd better take personal charge of the case, Pat. Rest, warmth, and defleurage. We don't want any complaints. Get me?
I get you, Doc.
That's good. Is this what they call effleurage?
I thought you'd come round. How are you feeling?
Wonderful. I'd be still better for a double whiskey on the rocks.
Dr. Wayne recommended dandelion tea, but I thought a little stimulant might be useful, just this once. I brought the brandy with me. There's plenty of ice. I'm going to give you an ice pack presently. Try to sit up slowly. Here. And now, try and tell me what happened. You gave us all a dreadful fright. Nothing like that has ever occurred before. The traction table's really perfectly safe, you know.
Of course. I was just trying to get more comfortable. I suppose I must have knocked the lever. Then I don't remember anymore.
Well, another 2 days of treatment and you'll be right as rain. Though Dr. Wayne asks if you could possibly keep all this to yourself. He doesn't want the other patients to get worried.
I should think not. I won't say anything. It was my fault anyway. Now, how about some more of that treatment? You really do give great effleurage.
Next day, Bond searched the Count's room, while Lippy was down in one of the treatment areas.
Nothing here, except Shrublands to Amesbury, Wiltshire. Check distance. What does that mean? Who is he? Italian Count? Old Harrovian? Or what?
Next morning, Bond lay face down on the massage table, listening.
Morning, Beresford. Electric Turkish bath. All ready for me, I hope. Final treatment, 3 more ounces to lose, right?
Very good, sir. I'll shut you in and leave you to it.
Yes. Go and save your chickpea salad and come back to me in an hour.
Thank you. Count Lippy, sir.
20 minutes went by. 25.
Right. Now it's only me and Count Lippy.
Bond softly opened the door to the electronic bath. Lippy sat incarcerated within the big metal and plastic box, his back to Bond. There was a hole in the top, through which the patient's head emerged.
God damn it, Beresford, is that you? Let me out of this thing. Sweating like a pig.
I thought you liked it hot, sir.
Don't argue, goddammit. Let me out of here.
I don't think you quite realise the value of heat in the H-cure, sir. A patient suffering from your condition will find much benefit from the treatment.
Don't give me that crap. I tell you, get me out.
What should I give him? 200? No. Punishment, not murder. 180 for just retribution.
Half an hour of real heat will do you the world of good, sir.
Hang on.
And if you catch fire, you can sue, my dear Count.
Bond! You bastard! All right, £1,000 and we're quits.
Nothing that a week in hospital won't cure.
10,000.
See you later, irrigator.
All right, 50. Bond, help me. Help! Do you hear me? Help!
Intriguing. A £50,000 bribe. He must have a very urgent reason for needing freedom of movement.
Bond! Bond! Help me!
James Bond was right. The outcome of this rather childish trial of strength was to upset, if only in minute fashion, the timing of a plot that was to shake the governments of the Western world.
Willkommen in Paris, meine Herren. Bienvenue à Paris, monsieur. Welcome to Paris, gentlemen. Congratulations. You all possess a clean sheet with Interpol. After a lifetime in major crime, that is your highest qualification as members of the Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge and Extortion. Spectre. As you know, I am founder and chairman of this private European enterprise for profit, Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Thank you. To business. Plan Omega. First, Lippy has made a serious error. This so-called Count was instructed to make his headquarters at a certain South of England clinic. His instructions: to maintain contact with Eamon Petacci at Boscombe Down Airfield, where the NATO bomber experimental squadron is under training. I recruited this Petacci to hijack the plane and its contents and fly it to Area Zeta. Lippy was to report on Petacci's continued willingness. Reports have been satisfactory, but Lippy was also entrusted to post the letter, on D+1, 3 days from now. Tell them, Dr. Kalyakin.
Spasibo, Herr Blofeld. Members, unfortunately, this foolish man became embroiled with a fellow patient at the clinic. Result, he is now in Brighton Hospital suffering from second-degree burns. Absurd! Out of action for a week. This involves a delay in our precious Plan Omega. I have now provided Airman Patachi with a vial of influenza virus. He will take the vital test flight after his recovery. Lippy will then post the letter according to plan.
Spasibo, Doctor. You should all know that Lippy will be eliminated within 24 hours of the posting of the letter. Questions?
Ja, Herr Blofeld.
Yes, Professor Dietl.
Herr Blofeld, has our esteemed Signor Emilio Largo established his cover as Supreme Commander in Area Zeta?
He has. The treasure-hunting myth has gained full credence. The crew of yacht Disco Volante are hand-picked. Remind us, Professor.
Ja, sicherlich. We would seem to be financial backers of this treasure hunt. Investors who have demanded to take part in the adventure. We are rich businessmen who might be expected to be taken in by such a scheme.
And you, of course, Professor, our valued physicist, also takes a role of metallurgist, our coin expert.
Your numismatist, Blofeld.
I stand corrected. And you are all there to watch over your investment and ensure that not one doubloon goes astray. You have studied your respective roles?
Yeah.
Arrangements for the disposal of the ransom bullion are in place, and conversion to use Swiss francs and dollars. Satisfactory? Satisfactory? Remember, neither the first nor second bomb will be rendered safe until the ransom rests in the Swiss banks. Other questions? No. I am satisfied. I shall remain at headquarters to watch over reactions to the letter.
Giuseppe Petacci sat in the fuselage of the bomber, observing the men at work in the cockpit. He felt the little cylinder of cyanide in his pocket. It was time. He went through to the cockpit.
Oh, hello, Seppi. Enjoying the flight? Keeping a beady eye on us all?
Yeah, sure. 5 more hours to go, eh?
You realise we're missing north by northwest at the Odeon?
We can up catch with it at Salisbury Gormont.
Salisbury.
Petacci felt for the release valve in his pocket and gave it 3 complete turns. He eased out the cylinder and slipped it into the metal map rack behind him.
It's time for a ziz.
What's that in Italian? Zizzo?
Sonellino. Siesta. Ciao.
Ciao. I spy with my delight.
Back at his chair, he clamped on his oxygen mask and watched them through the open door.
Under 5 minutes, yes?
In about 2 minutes, the navigator suddenly clutched his throat and slid to the floor. The radio operator lurched sideways and collapsed. The 3 other men began to fight for air briefly, terribly, then fell back, spread-eagled.
4 minutes. Give them 1 more.
Pressing the oxygen mask tight against his face, he went forward and closed the valve on the cyanide cylinder. He verified the autopilot and went back to his seat. After 15 minutes, he went forward again and began to pull the bodies back into the fuselage. Then he took over the controls.
It's like driving a beautiful motor car. Maserati. What color shall I choose? Dark blue. See, respectable. Fit my new identity. Now, last lap. Watch for lights of Grand Bahama. Lose height. Prepare for final approach. Depth of water will be 40 feet. Watch out for flashing red beacon. Yes, inch nose down. Any moment now. It's going to be easy. 500 feet. 400. 3, 2, shape of yacht in darkness. Benny, down, Down. Pronto. Up with the nose. Per grazia di Dio, I have done it. I, Giuseppe Petacci, a millionaire. And plenty of time to get out of escape hatch onto the wing.
Good evening. Buonasera, my friends. Good evening. One plane, delivered in good condition, a little wet. Please sign here. Va bene.
Dear Mr. Prime Minister, you should be aware that since approximately 10 p.m. yesterday, June 2, a British aircraft carrying 2 atomic bombs is overdue on a training flight. The aircraft is a Vindicator bomber from RAF Experimental Squadron based at Boscombe Down. Identification numbers on the atomic weapons are indicated below. This aircraft was on a NATO training flight, crew of 5 with 1 official observer. The aircraft, together with the bombs, is now in our possession. Crew and observer are deceased. Whereabouts of this aircraft and of the atomic weapons, rendering them possible of recovery, will be communicated to you in exchange for equivalent of £100 million in gold bullion. Fine .999. Instructions for the delivery of gold are contained in the attached memorandum. Failure to accept these conditions within 7 days will have the following consequences. After that date, a piece of property belonging to the Western powers, valued at not less than the aforesaid £100 million, will be destroyed. There will be loss of life. If, within 48 hours after this warning, willingness to accept our terms is still not communicated, there will ensue destruction of a major city situated in an undesignated country of the world. Very great loss of life. This, Mr. Prime Minister, is single and final communication. We shall await your reply. Every hour on the hour GMT on the 16 megacycle waveband. Signed, Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge and Extortion. Spectre.
Spectre? Ridiculous. What's that supposed to mean? The PM received this letter this morning, 007. Addressed to him by name at 10 Downing Street, postmarked Brighton, 8:30 a.m. on June the 3rd. Now, what do you think?
I think it stands up, sir. If this plane and the weapons really are missing, I think they mean it.
So does the War Cabinet. And so do I. Oh, by the way, I've asked Q to join us. He's cleared on this. Yes, the plane with the atomic bombs is missing. The stock numbers on the bombs are correct.
What is there to go on, sir?
Practically speaking, nothing. Nobody's ever heard of these Spectre people. But we know there's some kind of independent unit working in Europe. All details are correct. The Vindicator was on a flight out into the Atlantic. RAF crew of 5 and an official NATO observer, an Italian called Giuseppe Petacci, squadron leader in the Italian Air Force. Over there checking on his background now. Top NATO pilots have been coming over here to get used to the planes and the bomb release routines. The aircraft just vanished in the transatlantic air traffic.
Didn't distant early warning pick it up?
Well, there's evidence, unconfirmed, that a plane peeled off the inward route to Idlewild and turned south. But it could be almost anywhere by now.
It would need special runways. It must have come down somewhere. You can't hide a plane of that size.
Exactly.
Apologies, Em.
Ah, come in, Q. Just putting 007 in the picture. Sit down.
Sorry I'm late. I have further info on the bomb.
Just a second, Q. The plane could be crash-landed in the sea, 007, in shallow water.
Wouldn't that explode the bombs?
Well, no, actually, 007. Forgive me, Em. But they're absolutely safe until they're armed. Even a direct drop would only explode the TNT trigger to the thing, not the plutonium.
How are these Spectre people going to explode them, then?
Apologies again, sir, but I expect you know, 007, that an atomic bomb looks just like any other bomb.
Does it?
Oh, yes. The nose is full of ordinary TNT, with the plutonium in the tail.
So these people would have to actually drop the bomb to set it off?
Ah, no. They would need a man with good physics knowledge. Lucky I'm not on their side, and all he'd have to do would be to unscrew the nose cone, the ordinary detonator, and fix on some kind of time fuse. You see, a nuclear bomb is not very bulky. You could put it in the back of a big car, for instance, and leave it parked with the time fuse switched on. Get out of range, say 100 miles away, and that would be that.
Yes, all right, Q. Listen, this is the first blackmail case. Unless Spectre is stopped, every criminal scientist with a chemistry set will be doing it.
So, nothing for it but to pay up.
Operation Thunderball, the PM's calling it. God knows why.
Mushroom cloud, sir. Nuclear explosion effect. Nagasaki and so on. Sometimes known as a thunderball. PM knows what he's talking about.
Oh, really? Anyway, money's no object. We've teamed up with the CIA to cover the world.
Where do I come in, sir?
I have an idea. And I wish it to be pursued by a reliable man.
He means you, 007.
The best evidence is that the plane left the east-west air channel over the Atlantic and turned south. Now, assuming it couldn't have landed in America itself...
Radar network being too good.
Exactly. Where might be suitable, Q?
The Bahamas?
Thank you. Got to be. Group of islands, many of them uninhabited and possessing only one simple radar station. The nearest of the Bahama group is only 200 miles from the main American coastline.
So why didn't Spectre send their letter to President Eisenhower instead of the PM?
To make us do what we're doing, hunting all round the world. I'm betting they'd like to collect the so-called ransom and close the operation as quickly as possible. We've got to push them as close to the use of No. 1 bomb as we dare.
In the hope that something will betray them in the next 6 3/4 days.
I'm pinning my hopes on my guess. And on you, 007. You're booked on all planes from now until midnight to the capital, Nassau. You're a rich young man looking for some property in the islands. An excuse to do as much prospecting as you want.
Oh, well, if you insist, sir. Who do I cooperate with in Nassau?
The governor knows you're coming. Oh, and James.
Sir?
When this is all over, we'll talk about the joys of Shrublands.
Right, sir.
You should give it a go yourself, Q.
Not a chance, sir.
Thunderball? That's pretty worrying. But, you know, it's inconceivable, Commander Bond, that a large four-engine plane could have been hidden anywhere within the confines of the colony. The only airstrip capable of taking such a plane is here in Nassau. So far as a landing on the sea is concerned, what do you call it?
A ditching, Sir John.
Ah, yes, ditching, good. Well, we've been in radio contact with all the outer islands. Replies are negative. And at the meteorological station...
Might I ask if the radar screen is manned round the clock?
Ah, I see what you're getting at. Things do slacken off a bit when there's nothing scheduled. Now, let's see. There was a request from the Foreign Secretary about recent arrivals.
That's right.
Well, I've had a word with Immigration and Customs. Nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual mixture of tourists and businessmen. Well, Immigration will be happy to go through the forms with you.
Might I ask a question?
Fire away, old boy.
I'm looking for a group of men, probably 10, 20, I don't know. They're likely to have a ship or a plane. I gather you have plenty of conventions coming to Nassau.
We do have those sort of gatherings, yes. But in the last 2 weeks, only a moral rearmament group at the Emerald Wave and the tip-top biscuit people at the Royal Bahamian. And they've gone now. It's all very respectable.
That's just it, Sir John. The people I'm looking for who may have stolen this plane will certainly take pains to be just that. We're not looking for a bunch of flashy crooks.
Well, we've got our annual treasure hunt going on. I can't believe you want to bother your head over a lot of rich beachcombers.
Do they have a yacht?
Ah, I believe they do. And a small plane, for the matter of that. But their top man, Emilio Largo, is respectable enough, and his crew have never once given us trouble. Unusual, actually. Not a single case of drunkenness in 6 months.
An hour later, James Bond was following an attractive girl through striped sunblinds into the blessed cool of a storm. He knew who she was.
Hi! I want a cigarette that's so disgusting I shan't want to smoke it. Have you got a cigarette that stops people smoking? Look at all those. Don't tell me some of them don't taste horrible.
Well, ma'am, I don't know.
You can choose between 2 kinds of cigarette if you want to smoke less.
What? And who might you be?
My name is Bond. Jimmy Bond. I'm the world's authority on giving up smoking. I do it constantly. Lucky I'm handy.
Oh, really? All right. Tell me.
Only way to stop smoking is to stop it and not start again. Or to have cigarettes that are either too mild or too strong. The mild ones are probably the best for you. Excuse me.
Sir?
Give me a carton of Dukes, king size with filter.
Sure. One moment, sir. There you go.
Thanks. Try these. Compliments of Faust.
Oh, but I can't.
Thank you. Too late. I've paid. I'm afraid smoking goes with drinking. Are you going to give them both up, or one by one?
This is very sudden, Mr. Jimmy. Well, all right. But somewhere out of town. It's too hot here. There's a place out beyond Fort Montague. Come on. I'll take you there. This is my car. Mind the metal. It'll raise blisters on you.
Bond knew a good deal about her from the immigration form he'd studied that morning. He knew her name was Dominetta Vitali, that she was 29, and gave her profession as actress.
So when did you arrive? End of season, one expects to know most of the faces.
I got in this morning from New York. I've come to look for a property. How long have you been here?
About 6 months.
Hmm?
I came out in a yacht, the Disco Volante. Flying saucer. She's anchored up the coast. You probably flew right over her coming into land.
Is she yours? She's got beautiful lines.
She belongs to a relative of mine.
Do you stay on board?
No, we've got a beach property, just opposite where the yacht is. Place called Palmyra. Belongs to an Englishman. I believe he wants to sell it. It's very beautiful. A long way away from the tourists.
Sounds what I'm looking for.
Well, we'll be gone in about a week.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Are you flirting? Sorry. But I've spent 6 months listening to that kind of thing from these silly old rich goats. There's no one under 60 in this place. Any girl makes their bifocals steam up. I expect you'll have the same effect on the old women, with pince-nez and blue rinses.
Do they eat boiled vegetables for lunch?
Yes, and they drink carrot juice and love prunes.
Oh, no. I won't sink lower than conch chowder.
You seem to know a lot about Nassau.
You mean conch being an aphrodisiac?
Is it true?
I haven't found it has any effect on me.
Are you married?
No. Are you?
No.
Then we might both try some conch soup sometime and,
You'll have to try harder than that. I'm Dominetta Vitali, by the way.
Really? You don't sound Italian.
I was sent to school in England. Then I went to RADA to learn acting.
Oh.
The British kind of acting.
I'm a great fan of Celia Johnson.
Really? She's my role model.
Oh, perfect. I'm enjoying our brief encounter.
My parents thought it was a ladylike way to be brought up. Then they were both killed in a train crash. I went back to Italy. I remembered my English, but you don't get far in the Italian theatre by walking about with a book balanced on your head.
This relative with the yacht, wasn't he there to protect you?
No. He's not exactly a relative. He's a close friend.
Guardian?
Maybe. Come and visit us on the yacht. He's called Largo. Amelia Largo.
Largo?
Yes. You've probably heard. He's here on a treasure hunt.
Really? Well, that sounds fun. I'd like to meet him. What's it all about?
Heaven knows. He's very secretive about it. There's some kind of map. I'm not allowed to see it. I have to stay ashore when he goes off prospecting. A lot of people have put up money for it. Investors. They've all just arrived. We're leaving in a week, so I suppose the real hunt's going to start any moment now.
Trouble with most treasure hunts is that either someone's been there before, or the wreck is so deep in the coral you can't get at it. What are the investors like?
They seem all right. Very dull and rich. Emilio's giving a party for them at the casino tonight.
What do you do all day?
A bit of shopping for the yacht. I like underwater swimming. I have an aqua lung.
Ah, I used to do a bit. Will you show me some good bits of reef sometime, Dominetta?
For God's sake, don't call me that. Most people call me Domino. Oh, it's time I went. Thanks for the drink. They'll get you a taxi.
007, meet 000.
Felix Leiter.
You made it.
Take it easy, friend. Dick Tracy'll tell all.
Ha! Did you know it was going to be me?
Sure. CIA knows everything.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
So, last time we met, you were with Pinkertons. What's the score?
Drafted. Hell, anyone would think there was a war on. When the president sounded the fire alarm, I thought the Russians had landed. And then they tell me to pack my spade and bucket, come on down to Nassau.
Well, of course you gripe like hell.
Asked them should I brush up on my canasta game and take some cha-cha lessons.
And?
They told me I was to team up with you down here, so I packed the bow and arrows instead. Now you spill, you old son of a bitch. Hell, it's good to see you. Great story, James. Except planes with atom bombs don't get stolen in real life.
Apparently they do.
These hijackers sound like pros. We gotta get them. Especially as my medal collection's looking a bit thin since I left the outfit. Where do we go from here?
We have to decide whether these people are hunting pieces of 8 or 100 million ransom. You brought the Geiger counter?
Sure, and it's a honey. State of the art.
Looks more like a Rolleiflex.
Yup, and this looks like...
A Rolex?
Cute, huh? Camera over shoulder, watch on wrist. Got it? Now take a look at this watch. And it is a watch. Only difference is that the sweep second hand is a meter that takes the radioactive count. You still wearing that old timepiece of yours with the big phosphorus numerals?
Of course.
So I come close up to you with my camera. Go on, put your watch up against the counter. See? The sweep hand here is getting all excited. Move your watch away, it loses interest. It's those phosphorus numerals of yours.
And no giveaway clicking sound.
James, if we get near where those atomic bombs are hidden, this damn sweep hand will go right off the dial. Okay, so let's go hire ourselves a 6-penny sick, pay a call on the Ocean Greyhound.
A 6-penny sick?
It's a launch, dummy. No such thing as a free one.
So, forgive all these charts. Please, sit down, gentlemen. Cigarette? Maybe drink, something to drink, something cool. Perhaps, planter's punch, Gin tonic? No? Beer? Come on, you must have had a warm journey in the open launch. I would have sent my boat for you if you told me you were coming.
Just tonic.
I'll have the same, thanks.
Mr. Largo, I'm very sorry to barge in like this.
No.
We just got in this morning from New York. I've only a few days, so I'll get a move on. The point is, I'm looking for a property down here.
Oh, yes. Oh. No, what a good idea. It's a wonderful place. And I've been here for 6 months. Already, I'd like to stay forever. but the prices, whoo-hoo. You are wise to come at the end of the season. Perhaps some of the owners will not open their mouths so wide.
That's what my attorney here advises. Is that not so, Mr. Larkin?
I've made inquiries on Jimmy's behalf, Mr. Largo. I wouldn't advise any client of mine to invest at these prices.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you mentioned something about Palmyra, Mr. Bond.
Jimmy. I understand you have a lease on the property, Mr. Largo, and there is talk that you may be leaving the house before long.
Yeah.
I gather the owner might sell if he got the right price. What I was going to ask was whether we could look the place over. Any time that might suit you.
Oh, but of course, my dear fellow, whenever you wish. There is no one in residence except my niece, Cora. I will tell you are going to call. It's a charming property. If only all rich men had such good taste.
Well, that is extraordinarily kind of you, Mr.
No, it's nothing.
Now, we should leave you in peace. Perhaps we may meet again. You must come over and have lunch.
Yeah.
But with a yacht like this, I don't suppose you ever want to come ashore.
Wait, no, you can spare 5 minutes. We are rather crowded at the moment. You have heard of the treasure hunt? No doubt you don't believe in these things, but my associates and my investors, they're all on board. So with the crew, there are 40 of us. You would like to have a short tour?
Well, that's
more than kind.
Thank you.
We'd love to see over the ship if you can spare the time, Mr. Largo.
Don't. Well, all right, come. It will take a few minutes. Come. After you, gentlemen.
Negative. Absolutely negative. Radioactivity around the engine room and the radio room, but that's normal. It was all normal.
One thing struck me. There was no way down to the hold that I could see. Unless it's a manhole under the carpet.
Strange what he said when I asked if there was more cabin space down there.
No, it's just the storage space and the fuel tanks, of course, because we have to carry several tons. You know, the ballast problem is important with these ships. When her bows come up, the fuel goes to the stern. So we have big lateral tanks to correct these things, that's all.
Oh, yeah? Wonder what he keeps down there. I'll ask the governor for a check via customs to see just how much fuel he carries. Still, I'd have said the whole outfit's as clean as a whistle if it wasn't for all that missing space we weren't shown.
Remember that merchant ship off Gibraltar during the war? The Italian frogmen used it as a base. Big sort of trapdoor affair cut in the hole below the waterline. You think it could be something like that?
Maybe it could.
No, Jimmy, not convenient. My guardian and some of his friends are coming ashore.
Oh, disappointing. Will I at least see you at the casino tonight?
It's possible. I'll be dining on board the disco, and then we'll sail round and anchor off the casino.
Good. Looking forward.
Will I remember you?
Oh, I'll remember you by your beautiful blue eyes. And maybe the blue rinse that matches them.
A Geiger counter, no less. I congratulate you on your thoroughness, Commander Bond. As governor, I won't pretend I'm not somewhat relieved.
Relieved, Sir John?
Well, splendid news that the Disco Volante and Mr. Largo both passed your respectability test.
Actually, they haven't.
What do you mean?
I'm still not satisfied, which is why I asked for that information.
Oh, dear. Well, yes, I do have something here from the Harbour Police. The Disco carries a maximum of 500 gallons of diesel. Took that amount in on the afternoon of June the 2nd. Also carries approximately 40 gallons of lubricating oil, 100 gallons of drinking water. All carried amidships, just forward of the engine room. Is that what you want?
It makes a nonsense of Largo's talk of lateral tanks and a ballast problem and so forth. I'm sorry, there's something on board he wants to hide.
Treasure hunting equipment, perhaps?
Maybe, but nice Mr. Largo is still an unreliable witness. Look, the Disco will be lying in the harbour tonight. Is there someone, perhaps on your police force, who could give me a hand with an underwater recce? I'll need a sound aqualung, fully charged.
Oh, Lord, is this wise, Commander? These people seem to be good citizens, and they're certainly good spenders. Largo's very popular with everyone. Any kind of scandal, particularly if the police was involved, would create one hell of a stink in the colony. To say nothing of the laws of trespass.
I'm sorry, Sir John, but I've got a job to do. Surely the Foreign Secretary's instructions are sufficient authority. Or I could get specific orders from the Prime Minister, if you feel that's necessary.
Now, no need to use the big guns, Commander. I was just giving you the local reaction. I'll have a man assigned to you from the Harbour Salvage Unit, probably Constable Santos. Splendid chap, used to win all the swimming prizes. He'll have the gear you want. Now, just give me the details.
Banco. Banco. Once again.
Banco. Bravo, Signor Largo. Every time.
Beautiful young Dominetta. She brings you luck.
Oh, I don't think so, Professor.
Come on, Emilio. I'm bored.
Oh.
Hurry up. I'm ready for champagne and caviar.
Not yet, Dominetta. I am past my third banco. I feel the bank is going to run.
But, Signor Largo, the table has no memory. Luck is strictly for the birds. Banco.
My good friend, Mr. Jimmy Bond. You may say so, you know. Everybody. Now, we have the big money coming. Maybe I should pass the bank, because the English know how to play the railway trains. Now, if I have to lose, I will certainly like to lose to Mr. Bond.
A bank of $800, I see.
So, card for you, for me, and one more for each.
A 9. 9 of diamonds. Always a good start. So good, I will face up my second card. A glorious 10.
You certainly make me try. I lost by a pip. It's the cruelest way to lose, you know. What did I say? The English can pull whatever they like out of the shoe.
So it seems can the Italians. We should go into partnership.
All right, yes. So we try once again. Yes, you put in what you have won. I will bank on that in partnership with Professor Dietel on your right. He's one of my investors. Yes, Dietel? Yes?
Oh ja, ich bin sehr glücklich darüber.
Yes, whatever you say, that's right. Mr. Bond, you win again.
I'm sorry. Once more by 1 point.
Now, indeed, writing is on the wall. Professor, you will have to continue alone. This Mr. Bond he has green fingers against me. I surrender.
Okay, here you are.
Well, $1,600 in 2 coups, over £500. And it would be fun to pass the bank. La main passe.
La main passe.
What? Jimmy, don't do that to me. Don't tell me the bank is going to go down in the next hand. I shoot myself. Really. Okay. I will buy Mr. Bond's bank, and we will see. There.
Banco.
Aye.
Banco y fe.
But you are hunting me, my dear fellow. You are pursuing me. What is this? Is vendetta?
When I came to the table, I saw a Spectre.
What? What did you say? What do you mean?
The Spectre of defeat. I thought your luck was on the turn. Perhaps I was wrong. Let's see.
Is it about to go?
So, my friend wishes to put the evil eye upon my cards. Well, we have a way to deal with that where I come from. You see? Fist and fingers make a snake like this.
That certainly put a hex on me. But what did it do to the cards? Come on, your Spectre against my Spectre.
All right, my friend, we are wrestling. The best of 3 fours. Yeah? Here comes the third.
No card, thank you.
Cha! So, draw or not draw? All right, I draw. 9, porca miseria.
Sorry, senor. You should have killed the evil eye in the pack, not in me.
Evil eye? Well, shake hands, Jimmy. Now I must wait for the shoe to come round again. I have a hard evening work ahead of me. Darling, I don't think you know Mr. Bond, except on the telephone. He has taken all my winnings. Perhaps he can squire you.
How do you do? Didn't we meet at the tobacconist's this morning?
Yes, it's possible. I have such a bad memory for faces. Emilio, perhaps if I take this Mr. Bond away, your luck will turn again.
Maybe. See you later, my dear fellow.
Thanks for the game. I'll order champagne and caviar for 3. My Spectre also deserves his reward.
You may not fare so well in Dominator's hands as you did in mine.
Did you hurt yourself swimming today?
Why do you ask?
You have a slight limp.
I have one leg an inch shorter than the other. Does it displease you?
No, it's pretty. Makes you something of a child.
Instead of a hard, old-kept woman, yes?
Is that how you see yourself?
It's what everyone in Nassau thinks.
I make up my own mind. Would you like to know what I think of you?
Every woman likes to hear about herself. But make it sound true, otherwise I shall stop listening.
All right. Your true sensibilities have had to be put aside, but not very far underground. Now you've got the things you wanted, you've almost had enough of them. Just for the record, you're beautiful, provocative, self-willed, cruel.
Well, I told you most of that. Why do you say I'm cruel?
When Largo was losing, you didn't give him a word of comfort or encouragement. I would say that's cruel. Men don't like failing in front of their women.
I wanted you to win. I cannot pretend. You didn't mention my only virtue. Honesty. I love to the hilt and I hate to the hilt. With Emilio, I'm halfway. Where we were lovers, we are now friends who understand each other.
So you're fed up with your gilded cage?
Yes. It is cruel for Emilio, but it is also human. Emilio wants women for use, not for love. Give me some more champagne. All this talk has made me thirsty. And I would like a packet of players. I am fed up with just smoking smoke. I need my hero. Miss, 10 players, please.
Sure, miss.
Here.
Thank you, sir.
Please, as they say in the advertisements.
What's that about a hero?
Ah, you don't know. Ah, my one true love, the man of my dreams, the sailor on the front of the packet of players. Here he is. Oh, you don't understand the romance of this wonderful picture. This man was the first man I ever sinned with. I took him into the woods. I loved him in the dormitory. You're not bored having to listen about my hero?
I'm only jealous. Go on.
I spent all my pocket money on him. In exchange, he introduced me to the great world outside Cheltenham Ladies' College. He grew me up. He put me at ease. He stayed with me. My talisman. My obsession.
What a hero.
My brother is just the same. He hung on to a little metal charm his nanny had given him until he was 19. Then he lost it. I shall never forget the scenes he made. Even though he was in the Air Force by then, in the middle of the war. He said it brought him luck.
Did it?
He's done all right. Much older than me, but I adored him. Gals always love crooks. He said our grandfather had been so successful as a smuggler in the Dolomites that his was the finest among all the Patachi tombstones in the graveyard at Bolzano. My brother said he was going to have a finer one still, by making money the same way.
Patachi? Is that your family name?
Oh, yes. Battaglia is only a stage name.
What happened to your brother? What's his first name?
Giuseppe. He went wrong in various ways. But he was a wonderful flyer. Last time I heard of him, he'd been given some big job in Paris. I pray for him every night. I love him. You understand that?
Yes, I understand that. Any big fish about? Help me with this, Santos.
The usual harbour stuff, sir. Some barracuda, perhaps, maybe a shark. But he's lazy and overfed with refuse from the drains. He won't trouble you, unless you're bleeding, that is.
Water looks clear.
Yeah, you're okay with this moon and lights from Disco Volante to guide you. You got enough air in the cylinder for 1 hour. It'll take you 12, 15 minutes, that's all.
Thanks. See you soon. Here goes. A few inches above the bottom. Forward now. Nerve steady. Keep the moon at my right shoulder. Jeez. Barracuda, all I need. 10 yards away. So what do? Not to panic. Fear communicates. Establish a quiet pattern. Stick to it. 3 more minutes to go. Keep a rhythm. Show immunity. Good. Seagrass ahead. Shit. Barracuda's still alongside. Anchor. Well, I'm here. Okay. Upwards. Slowly. Slow. Look down. Barracuda? No sign. And here she is. Disco. Mechanism of the hydrofoil. Get your bearings, James. Okay. Move slowly along the hull. Yes, it's there. The ridge of a wide hatch. Okay, try the Geiger counter. So, what's inside these closed doors? Well, the machine's alive, but registering virtually nothing. No bombs in there. Home, James. Well. Underwater sentry. With gas gun. Okay. Scythe. Upwards, James. Get away. Well, what do you know? My chum the Barracuda. The ultimate hostile weapon. Thank you. Clearly respect pays off. So, swim through the blood patch and away. Much obliged. Grenade? From above? Oh, that's all I need. Come on, James. All your strength. Down, and away.
I was sculling around the casino, taking a good look. Saw this little egg-headed guy. He was having fun at your gaming table, James. I knew I'd seen him before somewhere. Found out from reception he's Professor Hans Dietl, Swiss passport, one of Largo's group from the yacht. Okay, remember a fella called Kutze, East German physicist? Came over to the West 5 years ago and sang all he knew. Went to ground in Switzerland. Well, same guy, Kutze.
So what's a top physicist doing on board the Disco?
Tell you another thing, my friend. We might just have the Manta on our side.
Manta?
U.S. Navy, our latest atomic submarine. Not so crazy as it sounds. Manta happens to be here on some sort of a training cruise. Looking for fun. Cool, huh?
Fun?
But you know, with what you got this evening, I'd pull the whole Disco lot in on suspicion.
Suspicion of what? Largo would reach for his lawyer and they'd be out in 5 minutes. What single fact have we got that he couldn't dodge? His treasure hunting cover is perfect, explains everything.
So what then? Limp at mine? Send her to the bottom in error, so to speak?
No. We have to wait.
Okay. What Largo's got to do now is collect the bombs and make for target number 1. Ready for 0 hour in around 30 hours' time.
And nothing we can do until he's got one or both of those bombs on board.
Or we catch him at their hiding place, which can't be far away.
Nor can the missing plane.
So tomorrow we rent a Cessna seaplane and go hunting.
You can see anything big through that water, down to 50 feet. The Vindicator would have been spotted on any of the air routes. They'd have ditched somewhere well out of the way.
Deep-sea fishing craft are out. Hey, look at her. Sunbathing on the roof of the cabin cruiser. Hey, baby, wave back! Oh, cover up. Too late! Grand Bahama coming up dead ahead. Want me to give the rocket base a buzz? Prohibited flying area. That's it. See the yellow balloons? Warning. There's a flight test on this morning.
NIA KOI, NIA KOI. You are in a prohibited area.
Oh, hell.
Can you hear me? Change course southwards immediately. NIA KOI. This is Grand Bahama's rocket base. Keep clear. Keep clear.
No use interfering with world progress. But if that little heap of ironmongery isn't worth $250 million, my name's P. Rick. Gotta be their target. And it's just about 100 miles from Nassau. Perfect for the flying saucer.
Keep on south. This is more like it. Sandbanks, shoal water, ideal hiding place for the plane. Bring us down to 100 feet, Felix. God, the water's clear. Oh. Look at those sharks. Just circling.
Nothing down there. 11:30. What's next, Detective?
Hang on. Just go back once more, Felix. Over the shoals. There's something...
We've only got fuel for another 2 hours.
It's those sharks back there. 40 feet of water. Circling on the surface. What are they doing? Above that particular patch? Yes. 2 on the surface. 1 deep down. It's nosing at something, pulling at it. And there's a... Put it down over those sharks, Felix. I think this is it.
Christ! I hope I can make it. Difficult to get a true horizon. This water's like glass.
Yes. Ridiculous. Those rocks on the bottom are crap. They're painted patches. So are the areas of sand. Camouflage. That third shark's onto something. That's it, all right. Big tarpaulin over her.
Well, I'll be goddamn, boy, oh boy. We found the goddamn plane. What do you know?
I suppose I'd better get on down, then.
Just one thing, Jacques Cousteau. What about our new best friends?
Good thinking. Kill one and the others will go for the corpse. Huh. There they go. Such enthusiasm. No loyalty. A dreadful feast. Take the gun. Get this thing on my back.
You know the design for the Vindicator? Where to look?
Yes. So long. Tell Mother I died game.
Bond swam down through the brilliant water. Swarms of fish parted grudgingly to make room.
Oh, thanks.
He touched down and slipped under the edge of the tarpaulin.
So, what do we have?
His torch glittered on the underside of a polished wing. He knelt down.
Identification disc. Giuseppe Petacci, number 15932. Got you.
He went on towards the fuselage and climbed in.
Oh my God.
On the roof hung the corpse of a crew member. In decomposition it had risen from the floor, and dozens of small octopuses hanging from it like bats now let go their hold and shot, jet-propelled, to and fro inside the plane.
Get away! Get away!
Bond proceeded towards the cockpit.
Cyanide canister. Count the corpses. 5. Open the hatch to the bomb bay. Bombs have gone. Well, that's it. Escape hatch. And out. And up to the surface. There's the disco, lying off Palmyra, back where she was yesterday.
No movement on board.
We have to know when those bombs go on board the yacht. I have an idea for that. Yes?
James, where have you been all morning? I thought you might have gone back to New York.
No, just looking at an intriguing property.
I want you to come swimming this afternoon.
Love to. Where?
A beach, a mile along the coast from Palmyra. Look out for a thatched hut. Skin diving is fun there. Not so many people. James, I must tell you, I've been told to pack and come on board this evening. Emilio says they're going after the treasure, tonight. Dead secret, so don't tell anyone. But he's vague about when we'll be back. I thought, when can you get there?
Half an hour.
We'll have more time. On the reef, that is.
Commander Bond, my watchers tell me that the Disco moved to the oiling wharf this morning and filled her tanks.
She's back at anchor off Palmyra now, though. We just flew over her.
Yes, but I'm told her seaplane was lowered over the side half an hour ago and took off eastwards.
Did your people radar track it?
They did, but they lost her among the islands to the southeast. What's your latest? You were off the radar too, you know.
Too early to tell, Sir John. You couldn't lend me a car, could you?
Yeah, I suppose so. Land Rover do?
Anything with 4 wheels. And I'm going to need a submarine.
Sorry, you better ask the CIA.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
You sound like a girl who's had it for the first time. Now you're frightened.
Domino, I must talk to you.
James, what's the matter? Is anything wrong? You're going to hurt me. Is it that you two are going away? Be quick. Do it cleanly and I won't cry.
It's about your brother.
What? What is it?
This is his. I found it today.
You found it? I don't understand. Is he dead? What happened to him?
It involves your friend Largo. It's a very great conspiracy. I am actually here to find out things for my government. People will die unless you help to prevent it.
Is this why you made love to me? To make me do what you want? And now you blackmail me with the death of my brother. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Your brother was killed on Largo's orders.
What?
I actually came here to tell you that, but then... I should have had the strength to stop it. I didn't. I wanted to put off hurting you. That's my only excuse. Please listen to what I have to tell you. So you see, those weapons are hidden somewhere. There is nothing we can do until they are actually on board the Disco. As long as the bombs are still lost to us, the threat is still there. You see that?
Yes, I understand. So what's to be done?
We have to know when those bombs are brought on board. That's all that matters.
And how will you know?
You must tell us. I'll help you.
Hey, James, CIA have obliged with the Manta, courtesy of the U.S. Navy Department. She's been desperate for some action.
Now she's got it.
But she's standing by to give chase if the Disco takes off with bombs on board. Dock in at the Prince George Wharf.
Domino knows the whole story. She has the Geiger counter. If the bombs come aboard the yacht, she'll signal to our guys on watch.
Perfect.
Quite a story, guys. Hell, I have to carry these missiles around. Command of a nuclear sub doesn't mean I'm not terrified by the whole business. So what are we to do?
As I see it, Captain Clark, Largo will be coming back any minute now in his plane after picking up the bombs from wherever he's hidden them.
So this girl will give us a tip-off, right? Then we close in and arrest his ship, or blow it out of the water.
Right.
Supposing he hasn't got the bombs, what then?
We follow him, Captain. Sit close on his tail until the time limit is up. That's about 24 hours from now. Then we can hand the whole Thunderball problem back to our governments.
By which time some little man in a speedboat leaves one of the bombs off the coast of America, and Miami goes up in flames.
Or there's a big bang somewhere else in the world.
Captain, we're damn sure Largo's our man. He'll be sailing for his target in no time at all. Dollars to donuts, he'll be placing that bomb at night. He'll deploy his underwater team, of course. Tonight's the last night he's got.
Urgent information for Commander Barnes, sir, from the governor.
Go ahead.
The Disco seaplane returned at 17:30 hours, Commander. It was hoisted on board. Disco sailed at 17:55, course northwest. The girl did not reappear on deck after boarding.
Thanks. Tell him the Manta will endeavor to shadow via the Northwest Providence Channel.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, gentlemen, that's that. You want your own underwater team? I'll get you 10 volunteers from right here on board. Let's go, guys. Take down all lines. Due north, 10 knots. Crazy gamble, of course.
You bet. But if the bombs are on board, if the Disco veers north for the missile station, then by racing up the Northwest Channel, we might intercept her in time.
Yes, but why didn't Domino make her signal? What happened to her?
Emergency? What do you mean? Blofeld, half an hour ago, I found Vitali in the well deck with a camera. She was pretending to take a photograph of Palmara with the safety cap on the lens.
Bloody hell. Cholera. You examined the camera?
Fake. It was considered Geiger counter. Naturally registered over 500. But she refused to talk. Don't worry. I shall persuade her. Heat and ice is very effective. We are now sailing towards the target. I rendered her unconscious. I roped her securely to her bunk.
This is nothing, Largo. The whole world is full of Geiger counters looking for us.
I agree. Nassau police probably ordered a radiation search of all the ships in the harbor. Maybe she was bribed to bring the counter on board.
Largo, place the atomic weapon. There will be nothing to fear. Operation will proceed. Within 24 hours, our labors will have been completed, and the great prize will be within our grasp. Oh, one more thing. When you are well away from target area, you will dispose of the lead casing of the weapon. It will contain Miss Vitali.
Miss Vitali.
30 fathoms. Now we got a clear course all the way, making good speed. Be off Grand Bahama about an hour before first light. Nothing can happen until it's certain the Disco is in the target area.
Forgive me, Captain. Were you thinking we'd try and go alongside and board her, or just blow her out of the water?
Well, I was kind of leaving all that to you fellers. Navy Department says I'm under your orders. I'm just the chauffeur. Tell me what you have in mind. Glad to go along with it, so long as it doesn't endanger my ship. Too much, that is.
It seems to me that if the Disco is going to lay that bomb as close to the rocket base as she can, she'll heave to and anchor about a mile offshore in about 10 fathoms. Then get the bomb another half mile or so closer to the target, lay it in 12 feet of water, switch on the time mechanism, and get the hell out of it.
For my money, assuming the bomb's set for the 12 hours Largo's got before the time limit expires, he'll go back to Nassau with his treasure hunting story and wait for his next orders from Spectre.
Unless he's managed to get information out of the girl.
Leaving all that aside, Commander Bond, how's he going to get that bomb out of the yacht and right into the target area without being spotted?
I'm sure that's the real purpose of the Disco's underwater compartment. They'll have one of those underwater sleds in there, and probably an electric torpedo to haul it. They'll load the bomb on the sled and take it in with a team of underwater swimmers. Lay it and come back to the ship.
Makes weird sense. So what do you want me to do about it?
There's only one moment to nail these people. If we show our hand too soon, the disco can get the hell away and dump the bombs in 100 fathoms. The only time to get them, and the bomb, the first bomb anyway, is when the team has left the ship and is on its way to the laying point. We've got to get their underwater team with our underwater team.
We have the finest swimmers in the nuclear flotilla.
I don't suppose you have rubber suits on board?
Have to. We're not always sailing among the palm trees.
We'll need them. By the way, the enemy's got CO2 guns, range about 20 feet. But they're slow things to reload.
You were right, gentlemen. About 5 miles ahead and 2 points to starboard. She's doing around 30 knots, and she's showing no lights. Care to have a look through the scope? No moon yet, but you'll see the white blur when your eyes get used to the dark.
What's her course?
Same as ours, western end of Grand Bahama. We'll go deeper now and put on a bit of speed. We've got her on the sonar as well, so we shan't lose her. By God, it's working out. They hove to just about 10 minutes ago. Sonar keeps on picking up underwater noises. What you bet they're getting things mobilized in that compartment of theirs? So, okay. I guess you and the boys had better get going. Hey, this is fun.
Bond shot upwards in a blast of compressed air.
Disco blacked out, less than a mile away. In Grand Bahama. Rocket base to the left.
Bond quietly jackknifed his body down below the surface again. The men were spread out in a rough wedge, slowly marking time in the water.
All here. 11 gleaming masks. If only we can achieve surprise.
He shifted the grasp on his spear to an attacking position, jerked up his thumb, and the black wedge fanned out into formation, cruising forward over the low coral like a giant stingray.
Now it's just a question of speed and navigation.
100 yards on, Bond signaled to fan out further.
Yes. White flesh. And there. And there. And the sled, towed by the electric torpedo chariot. We were right. Hell of a lot of enemy. Maybe 12. CO2 guns. Not good odds.
Bond made the hurling signal for the attack and plunged forward.
30 yards. 20. Haven't seen us yet.
But now the moon threw his shadow forward across a pale patch of sand, and one man, then another, glanced quickly round. Bond's spear caught one of them in the side and hurled him against the next man in line. Bond drove on into the mass of swimmers now scattering in all directions. The spear ripped into the rubber protecting Bond's stomach.
Blood or seawater.
He clung for a moment to a coral outcrop while the black tide of his men swept past him. The battleground had now shifted to a wide expanse of clear water fringed with broken coral. On the far side, Bond saw the now uncoupled sled laden with something long and bulky.
The first atom bomb.
He began to swim round the flank of the Poole. The sled with its obscene weapon was guarded by 2 of Largo's men.
So, where is Largo?
Then, with frightening suddenness, out of the mists to Bond's right, the gleaming electric chariot shot back into the arena. Largo himself sat astride it in the saddle. The 2 guards dropped their guns and held up the coupling of the sled. Largo slowed down, and one man caught the rudder and wrestled to pull the chariot backwards towards the couplings.
I know what they're doing. Now they've been rumbled, they're going to get out. Largo is going to take the bomb back through the reef and drop it in deep water or bury it. Same thing with the second bomb in the disco, of course. We've kind of won. But with the evidence gone, Largo will say that he'd been ambushed by rival treasure hunters. Once again, the treasure hunt cover will hide everything.
Bond flung himself forward and grabbed Largo's aquiline. Largo turned in time to parry Bond's spear. The chariot broke surface. Bond let go and, clutching its stern between his legs, slid back until he felt the top of the rudder at his back.
Now, get a firm grip. Mind the propeller. Drag hard downwards, and then down comes Largo into the water. He's finished, surely. Won't activate the time fuse now. nothing for it, James, but to get away, stay alive.
Bond dived down again towards the coral. He followed a narrow lane between the sharp clumps, but now a black shadow was above him.
Largo.
Watching Bond, biding his time.
No room to turn around in. Either swim on or stop. He's got me like a rat in a trap. But he'll have to come in and get me. Here he is.
Largo stood facing Bond between the walls of coral. Slowly he advanced. His right hand shot out at something. When the hand pulled back, it was writhing with 8 more fingers. Largo held the baby octopus in front of him like a small waving flower. Bond picked up a rock.
Well, this across Largo's mask will be better than a baby octopus across mine.
Largo leapt forward. Bond dived for Largo's groin, rock in hand, but Largo's right hand came swiftly down, clamping the octopus across Bond's mask. Then both his hands got Bond by the neck and held him at arm's length, squeezing.
Can't see anything. Oh, but how? Why? What's happened? Am I free? There's light, I can...
In front of him lay Largo, with a spear sticking horribly through his neck, kicking feebly on the sand, and behind him, looking down at the body,
Domino,
fitting another spear into her underwater gun. Bond got slowly to his feet. A wave of blackness began to creep up over his vision. He leant against the coral, his mouth slackening round the oxygen tube. Water seeped into his mouth.
No! No! Don't let that happen!
A hand stretched forward, but Domino's eyes behind her mask were blank, lost.
What? Blood on her bathing suit, red marks. Oh, she's ill. We'll both die standing here unless I... Come on! Come on! Take my hand. Yes, that's it. Moving up. Not so difficult.
The 2 bodies reached the surface together, then lay face downwards in the shallow troughs of the waves. The oyster light of dawn slowly turned pink.
It's gonna be a beautiful day.
Doc said I wasn't to see you, but I thought you might want to hear the score. Okay?
Yes? Domino, how is she?
We were right about Miami, James. It was going to be target number 2. They were going to plant the second bomb in the yacht basin.
So now everybody's happy.
Oh, sure. Except me. Haven't been able to get away from my damn radio until now. And there's a pile of cipher stuff from M just longing for you to get around to it.
Oh, yes. M.
Top brass from CIA and a team from your outfit are flying in this evening, so we can hand over. Watch our 2 governments getting snarled up over the Thunderball epilogue.
Epilogue?
What to tell the public, what to do with these Spectre guys. Whether to make you a duke, how to persuade me to run for president.
Tricky details like that, huh?
And then we'll damn well get away. Have ourselves a ball someplace. Maybe you'd like to take that girl along.
Is she okay?
Hell, she's the one that deserves the medals. The guts. They cottoned on to the Geiger counter. God knows what that bastard Largo did to her. But she didn't sing, not a damn word.
Sing?
When they were underway, she somehow got herself out of the cabin porthole with her gun and aqualung and went to get him. Saved your life into the bargain. Oh, hell, here's your damn medic gumshoeing down the corridor. I'll be seeing you, James.
Wait, Felix, how is she? Just tell me.
Doc says she'll be all right. Suffering from shock, needs rest.
What was the matter with her?
She swam a long way. She was not in a condition for such a... Doc says you get plenty of sleep. You gotta take it easy, James.
Take it easy? Where have I heard that before? Tell me what's the matter with her. Where is she? For God's sake, Felix.
James, he's roughed her up pretty badly. She's suffering from burns. She's still in great pain, but she's next door, room 4. Don't tell the doc I told you. Take it easy now.
Domino?
Jimmy, you are to stay here. Do you understand? You are not to go away. Do you hear me?
What? You okay? I just wanted... Sleep. Thunder. Sleep. You okay?
Yes. I'm okay. You sleep now, Jimmy. Sleep.
Good work, 007. Take it easy. You must take it easy for 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm doing my best, but it's actually quite hard.
Have you tried the nut mince yet? It's delicious. Oh, and James.
Sir?
When this is all over, we'll talk about the joys of Shrublands.
Right, sir.
You won't know yourself when you come out. That's all, James.
In Thunderball by Ian Fleming, James Bond was played by Toby Stevens, Emilio Largo by Tom Conti, and Blofeld by Alfred Molina. Domino was played by Janet Montgomery. Felix Leiter, Josh Stamberg, Dr. Wayne, John Sessions, Patricia, Lisa Dillon, Count Lippy, James Callis, and the Governor of Nassau, Ian Ogilvy. Miss Moneypenny, Janie D., Captain Clark, Nigel Lindsay, Q, Julian Sands, and M was played by John Standing. Patachi and Professor Deetle, Matthew Wolfe. Massa Sam, Alan Sherman. Massa Beresford and the pilot, Darren Richardson. Dr. Kaliagin and radio operator, Aaron Lyons. Santos and submarine officer, Simon de Denny. Other parts were played by members of the cast. Martin Jarvis was the voice of Ian Fleming. Specially composed music by Mark Holden and Philip Smoot. Thunderball was dramatised by Archie Scotney, directed by Martin Jarvis, and is a Jarvis and Ayres production.